Hey, what's up? As soon as people are in the chat, please sound off in the chat below. Make sure we do a good audio check, and then we will move on. I just want to talk about Soulcalibur 6 Season 3 and the lack of DLC of coming, actually. I mean, I don't think it's going to come. Like, we've said this before on this channel. That should be no surprise if you've watched my channel at all before. But it just seems like everything right now is pointing towards that we're not getting Season 3 at all. I don't think they're going to do a delay, being that it's been like 9 months since like Hwang Sung-young came out. It just seems like all signs are pointing to no. At this point, I think they want to focus more on Soulcalibur 7. It's going to take a few years for that game to come out, for them to build that engine up and make that game what it should be anyway. Hopefully we learn a lot of lessons that we took from the past, from Soulcalibur 6. I do have a video that is coming out, I believe, this Wednesday about how they can make the game better. So hopefully they heed that and try to implement some of those things. So just stuff that like people in my community have said for a long time. I've seen other people mirror as well. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how exactly confident I am in the fact that the biggest thing is, which is hard without people in the chat asking me questions, but the biggest thing that like I've seen people say is maybe it's just delayed. And I guess you can hope that it's delayed, but a 9-month delay is a pretty big delay. And a lot of people also keep telling me, oh, well, you know what? Maybe it just got canceled. Problem with that is that like it was never announced to begin with. So you can't cancel something that's not announced. The only reason that we even know that it exists is because of the data leaks. And according to Bandai Namco, that's not like proper authorization of information. Like, we're not supposed to be privy to that kind of information. So as far as they're concerned, they haven't canceled it. They just are not going forward with doing it. I mean, I guess the biggest thing that I can see towards that would be Motohiro Okubo actually not even working on the game right now. He's not heading up as lead producer right now. He's working on Pac-Man, and a couple of the other members of Project Soul are also doing other things. Some people have said, hey, well, why don't they get some people from Tekken, the Tekken team to help? Which occasionally the two teams do cross over and help each other with development. It has happened in the past. A lot of prior Soulcalibur people from Project Soul have moved on to Tekken's team and worked on those games. Like, look at Harada, for example. He was like one of the lead producers on Soulcalibur 5. And now he's like the lead producer for the Tekken team. So there's a lot of like ifs that are still like wandering around in the atmosphere. Like, what if they do this? Or what if this is the case? What if this is the case? It's all pure speculation at this point. But it's all pointing towards like a very significant and solid goal. It's 2021 now. The game's been out for like 3 years. They usually support their games for about a year. So it's been like 3 years of support for Soulcalibur is pretty good. I know a lot of people still want there to be a Season 3, myself kind of included. Like, I mean, here's the thing. The stuff and characters that are in Season 3, they could just roll over into Soulcalibur 7 in the base roster, and like that would give it like more of an umph to want to buy the game and promote it as such. I don't think that would hurt the game to not have a Season 3. The only arguments I've seen that have like some kind of validity to them is that like if we don't get a Season 3, then like people are gonna kind of forget about Soulcalibur 6. But that's par for the course when it comes to a Soulcalibur game. We usually get a Soulcalibur game like towards the mid to late of a console's life cycle. The only exception with that is Soulcalibur 3, which was paid for and produced by Sony. That's why it's Sony exclusive. And Soulcalibur 5, which was, in my opinion, a rush job. And I think a lot of people agree with that sentiment. But usually we see like one game of Soulcalibur per generation, and it comes to like the middle of the life cycle. So I'm still guessing that we're probably going to get Soulcalibur 7 around 2024. We'll probably hear stuff around 2023. Obviously, we're making videos, and any information I get on that will be on the channel. But I'm still looking forward to it. Right now, I'm kind of... I don't want to say I'm burnt out on Soulcalibur. I play it whenever somebody wants to play with me, or whenever we do like member live streams here on the channel, and we all play together. I do play with my friends occasionally, like we're in like just a fighting game mood and go through a big roster of different fighting games. But it's not the only game that I play by far. So the fact that like there is not a season 3 coming isn't really like too much of a detriment to me personally. I want to say, I know a lot of people really hang on this game, and that's like the one thing they want to see is a season 3. So I feel sorry for those people, like especially. I just don't see how the developers would push forward to season 3 at this late in the game. Like, even if they started work on development already and then like they haven't announced anything, because they've been so quiet on Twitter. It's not even funny. And if you go literally on Twitter and you go to any of their posts, which are all just birthday posts, you'll just see massive amounts of people saying like, where's season 3? And there's like radio silence completely. Like, I think the only kind of plus side that we've seen is like Motohiro Okubo took like a random picture with like, I think like a Soulcalibur fight stick on the subway, and people are like, oh, this means that season 3 is in the works. But Motohiro Okubo is not even working on Soulcalibur right now. He's working on Pac-Man. So I know you can do two things at once, but as a lead producer, you have a lot of responsibilities. So like if he is helping out with another game, I think that is pretty good proof that he's not working on that. And then there's the other thing of like, Evo is going on today. I think Evo started today, started streaming, and it's going on until August 6th, I want to say, or that may be the main tournament. But it's just a side tournament, so there are going to be a bunch of little side tournaments. Evo this year is online only, so for obvious reasons, they can't have it LAN, and they can't like include Soulcalibur in that because it's got a pretty shitty netcode. There's a lot of things they need to improve on the netcode, obviously. Like, I mean, especially in this past year, if you've been playing online at all, you know that like the netcode is like a really big deal. And I roll my eyes too when I hear people say it, because it sounds, just saying the word netcode makes it sound like you think you know what you're talking about, when a lot of people actually don't. I've seen people be like, oh, why don't they just implement rollback? And why don't they just do this? And why don't they just do that? Like, rollback's like good, but it's not like perfect for every scenario. And like it tends to be a little bit better in 2D environments than 3D. I'm not saying it can't work. I think it should be built with the ground up with rollback in mind, and that way it can actually be better. And obviously, like, rollback is an AI pretty much guessing what the inputs are going to be based on the combo presses, and they actually fill that out, and it rolls back the netcode so that it has a couple frames of delay that are already pre-built in, so that you don't see an actual delay on stream or when people are playing, if that makes sense. But besides like the netcode, there's like so many things that they need to work on already as it is, and I think they should be taking the time to build up a new engine and working on like utilities for the games, like trying to unlock everything for every character, as opposed to like having like stuff locked behind like genders and races in the game, because it's pretty. That was always one of my biggest qualms, I guess you could say, with this game, is the fact that we literally just have like rehashes from Soulcalibur 4 and 5. And I think that's pretty much unacceptable at this point. Like, we need to have a lot of new things. Soulcalibur 6, there's reasons why that game was budgeted the way it was, and why we have like what we have in that game. So I can kind of understand the shortcomings, I guess. But for Soulcalibur 7, we're not going to give that the same like scrutiny at all. Like, Soulcalibur 7's got to be a good game, like across the board. They need to build on what they've established already in Soulcalibur 6, and they need to give us a lot more, and it needs to have a lot more oomph to it. The game has to have more modes. There's just so much more that needs to be done with that game in general. And like I said, on Wednesday, I think I have a video about how they can make Soulcalibur 7 better than Soulcalibur 6. I don't know, man. I want to hear from you guys, like in the chat. Like, there's a couple of you in here, and I want to hear like, do you still have hope? Because I'm telling you right now, flat out, my opinion is that we're not getting a season 3. Like, that's just my straight up opinion. Before, I was saying there's like a 1% chance or like a 50% chance. I'm pretty much saying now it's not happening. Like, I can't see it happening this late in the game. You can hold out hope however long you want for whatever reasons you want, but that's the main thing I want to hear is your reasons. I guess that's like the most important thing to me, is why you think that like they're still out there. Is there misinformation going out there like on Twitter and stuff? Because I don't follow like a ton of other Soulcalibur people. I do follow like that Huang guy, the player, and I have seen him spread some misinformation. Well, not misinformation, but it's like false hope to people, which I think is a little tenuous. Like, you should be able to be honest with people, but it's not only my opinion that I think we're not getting a season 3. I think all the signs are pretty much pointing to that Soulcalibur 6 is done. I unfortunately, that to be continued at the end of season 3 is turning out to be a not to be continued in season 3, but a to be continued in Soulcalibur 7, as a lot of people were speculating before. But that's not really like changing the game with a theory like that, because it's pretty much like it's either a 50-50 guess of like what it means, right? Do we have anybody in the chat? Is there any questions anybody has right now before we move on? Okay, my chat was slow, so let me catch back up and read some of this chat. Already here and sent the link. Thank you, Atherin. I appreciate it. Yeah, the mods get on this pretty fast. Oh, by the way, Raging Ningen. I don't know if you saw this, but my podcast is actually named after you. I don't know if you got that. I think I subconsciously had your name in mind because you comment so much on the channel. So like when I actually named the channel with Rich, like we went with Raging Ningen. So I just wanted to give you a little shout out for that. What's up, Dante? How you doing? Daniel Ramsey says Soulcalibur 3 really needs season 3? Really needs a re-release. Oh, Soulcalibur 3. Yeah, Daniel, I would love that as well, but they can't re-release Soulcalibur 3 because it's proprietarily owned for distribution rights by Sony. So like they're not going to put it on any other console. So they're not going to re-release Soulcalibur 3 on just PlayStation 5. I can't see them doing that at all. Plus, I think a lot of the assets are gone because it's from an older team. And they'd have to take a lot of the stuff out of 3, including like the Xeno Saga stuff and a bunch of other things like that. Tekken is probably done too. Also, MK11 confirmed that it's finished now. Yeah, I saw that, which is actually really rare that fighting games actually announce their departure. They usually just move on to the next project. They don't usually bother to let the community know that they're actually finishing, which was pretty much nice of me to see that. I mean, I know they called for more support for the game later on, but it's at a pretty good end now with Aftermath, I think. Street Fighter 5 and Smash and Sam Show are done after this season as well. Yeah, I would figure. Daniel says, yeah, it sucks. Mike Garcia says, I love Soulcalibur 6. I'm starting to see pattern if they are working on Soulcalibur 7, but are keeping it on the down low. Well, they'll definitely be working on it. They probably started working on it while season 2 was going on, to be honest. Hakan Genemi says, to what I hear, rollback is not as easy to put in a 3D fighter. Even Harada said so. Yeah, I mentioned that. I was saying that like it's more easily implemented into 2D fighters. Like if you actually want to make it into a 3D fighter, you have to bake it into the core of the game. Like you literally have to like revolve the game around it to have it work anyway. And there's other options besides rollback. Like rollback's not the only option they have with Netcode. There's like a future sight AI. Like I was mentioning earlier, where like the AI will actually guess based on your previous inputs, like what your next inputs are going to be. So if there is any break or any lag or any frame rate drops, they will automatically fill that in for you. That's actually a pretty good way to do things too. Oysen says, sad news. Yeah, it is. But I mean, at least we'll get Soulcalibur 7 that much sooner. Ultimate League says, I don't have hope anymore. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty much 100% with you. I don't think it's going to happen at all. Khan Genemai says, or Gemini, I think that's how you pronounce that. Soulcalibur 6 is done. So my opinion is I hope Bandai Namco doesn't butcher Soulcalibur 7 for me. Well, you're looking at Project Soul for that. Bandai Namco is just a publisher. They don't really have anything to do with the actual game themselves, except for the timeline of release and like what's allowed in the budget. Okay. Give us a game like Soulcalibur Legends for the new consoles. That was a completely different development staff too. I would like to see a Musu game based on them, like a Omega Force Soulcalibur game. I think that'd be pretty cool. Or if they did like the Devil Within, like Tekken 5 did, if you can actually implement that and be the story mode of Soulcalibur 7, that would actually be pretty cool too. Taj says, I'm not holding my breath, but if it does happen, it will be a pleasant surprise to at least send off the game and then until the next iteration of the series. Yeah, but I agree with that, but it might be a whimper, to be honest, because the characters that are in that aren't like sellers, right? We got like Rock, we have Aeon, and we have like possibly Yoon-Song / Algol, which I believe it's Yoon-Song, not Algol. But I don't know if like those 3 characters themselves would sell a whole season and build up enough hype. Like the way that they wrote the story and the narration in season 2, like really led up to a good portion where Soulcalibur 7 can like take off from, you know what I mean? And the characters that are in season 3 aren't usually part of the main stories anyway. They're always usually doing their own thing. Ultimate League says, I wish they would tell us. Don't hold your breath, buddy. They're not going to tell us anything. They're just going to start working on the next game. Return to the dark age of fighting games. Isaiah Peter says, hey, man, how are you? Do you think that Yoshimitsu will become a mentor to Setsuka? I do not believe so, no. Yoshimitsu is always like one of those characters that is used as a joke in Soulcalibur. He's more so utilized. It's not the same character in Tekken 7, but I mean, more so utilized in Tekken 7 as like an actual ninja clan. But Yoshimitsu's case in Soulcalibur is more of a gimmicky joke character, so I don't think he'll be a mentor to Setsuka. Plus, I don't really know if Setsuka actually needs a mentor at this point. Like, she's pretty strong on her own, and she's already been a student of somebody else. So, Mike Garcia says, I have hope for 7. I think we will not get a season 3. I agree with you. Daniel says, yeah, I got a question. Just what is Bandai Namco's roadmap for game development? Okay, so I've done a video on this on my channel before that you can look up, but just in case to save you some time, because I have like over 500 videos on my channel. Roadmaps are based on calculated sales and statistics, okay? So Bandai Namco will sit down through the fiscal year before the game's released, right? And let's say, okay, we got Tekken 7, we got Scarlet Nexus, we got blah, 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 whatever games you want to insert there. They have all these games, right? And they have the budget for these games, and they know when these games are supposed to be finished. So they'll say, okay, we need to release this game during this period because usually it sells the most during this. Like, let's say fighting games. Fighting games sell the most in fall. So we're going to release it in January. And then it's going to end by like next January, right? And we're not going to support the game anymore. We're going to move on from there. And then let's say in the winter time, usually sports games do better. So let's like announce like Tsubasa, and we're not going to have any DLC like in the interim of those games. So they don't want to compete against themselves pretty much. So let's say you have a wallet with like $100, right? And they have a season pass 3 for Tekken 6, for Tekken 7, Soulcalibur 6, Street Fighter 5, whatever. I know it's not Bandai Namco. I'm just throwing out games out there for the sake of the alliteration. So you have all these games, right? They want to make sure they get every penny of that $100 from you. Now, if you all have $100 and they have like one season pass, then they know that like you're going to spend your money on that season pass because it's more likely that you have the money, because out of that $100, you definitely have $25, right? But if you're going down a list and you're saying, okay, now we're offering like 6 different DLC packs at the same time from different games, and the total is about $200. Now they know they're not getting your $100. They might not even get your $25 because you might go spend it on something else. That's just how it works. And they have a specific timeline that they release games in so they don't compete with each other. I hope that answer made sense to you. If you have any more questions, let me know. My name is Devante. Sometimes I think you call me. Ultimate League? Well, there's another Devante. I think there's 2 other Devantes on the channel. They're subscribers. So if I say that, then that's probably because like I'm talking to one of them as well. GG Strive and the upcoming King of Fighters are the only things we might see more support for later. Yeah, and I believe that King of Fighters is not even Bandai Namco. I think that's SNK, right? I could be wrong, but I believe that's SNK. Dragon Ball is probably finished too. Yeah, I can definitely see Fighters being finished. Like they should be working on the next Dragon Ball game as it is anyway. I'm surprised this year the only thing that's coming out is Kakarot so far, or the new Kakarot. I guess you mean Hong Yoon Song. Yoon Song would sell, and maybe Aeon, but Rock is the hard one to sell. Yeah, and then there's another thing with the guests too. Like we don't know if they already had like approvals for the guests, and then since COVID happened, they probably knew that like they couldn't get the guest out in time, and that probably had to coincide with some kind of like cross promotional purposes. And if they can't cross promote the game, then the company's not going to let the game be in. So the license probably expired, and now they have no guests, so they're definitely not going to release a season without a guest because nobody's going to buy it. Hakan says, what is the chance of Soulcalibur 6 will keep using assets from other Soulcalibur games? Okay, I want to see some more costumes from Soulcalibur 1, 2, and 3. The problem with that is that like those are all on different engines, buddy, and like they might not even have the assets for them because there's been different Project Souls that have like worked on prior games, and especially like 3 is tricky because 3 is owned, the distribution rights is owned by Sony, so like you can't even put that on other consoles. Do you think there will ever be a competitor for Soulcalibur like how Tekken and Street Fighter are rivals in some capacity? I actually don't even think Tekken and Street Fighter are rivals. I think they're two completely different niches that like fill a similar market base, but I don't think they're rivals to each other. If I was going to say a rival to Tekken, it would not even Mortal Kombat, dude. I don't know. I think that's why the three of them do so well, because they're not rivals to each other. I think Soulcalibur is a rival to Tekken, which is why it doesn't sell as well, because Tekken is Bandai Namco's baby. But as far as Soulcalibur, there's been stuff in the past, like there's Samurai Showdown. In the past, there was like Bushido Blade. You never know what's going to resurge and what can come back up to take the market space. But I think the biggest claim to fame that Soulcalibur has is its character creator. It's one of the few fighting games that actually allows for so much capacity to create your own characters, and I think that's what keeps the game alive, to be honest. Hakan says, is Yoshimitsu a different character, kind of like the name Tekken's Kunimitsu and King? Yes, so Yoshimitsu is based on an ancient Japanese folklore, and even though they are using the same name for both characters in Tekken and Soulcalibur, they are not the same characters at all. I have an entire video on that on my channel as well. I've seen some people say, oh, well, it's the same clan, just a descendant in the future. That's not the case. There's no evidence, at least, to point to that being the case. Yeah, King of Fighters is SNK. That's what I thought. Yep. Daniel says the development teams of Soulcalibur are so scattershot. At least keep data on all these games. The problem is that like they get like Virtua Fighter is not a rival to Tekken. Virtua Fighter is not a rival to anybody. Virtua Fighter hasn't been relevant since like Virtua Fighter 4, honestly. And if you check the game statistics that are online right now for Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, I think there's like under 1,000 people playing it on Steam, which is like horrible. I think at one point it dipped to like 300 something. And that's bad for that netcode of that game, because that netcode is based on peer-to-peer. So it's based on how many people are playing the game is how good your connection is to somebody else. So that's pretty bad. Sam Show does not have a Korean character in the new game. They don't all have to have like a character from every country. Some of these are some of these are like intertwined stories that are like written around a certain small demographic or small character base, which I actually tend to like more because it becomes more character focused as opposed to story focused. And characters can actually sell a story much more than a storyline can. And though I would love to see a Korean character, like obviously in every game, they don't need to have it in every game. And I'm not really vouching for that or fighting for it. I like them to tell the story that they want to tell and do it the best way they can without having to shoe in other ideas just to make them seem relevant or something like that. Like Soulcalibur, for example, Soulcalibur is usually like Southeast Asia and Europe, right? We don't see any other countries in that game, but if you go to something like Tekken or like Street Fighter, there's like people from like every country in the world. So there's already a niche for that, so they can already take over that. You don't have to put that into every game. Michael Garcia says, we need a Dragon Ball Super game, not Z. I'm sick of going all the way back to Dragon Ball. Well, the story of Dragon Ball is so intertwined into the zeitgeist because of like me, right? I was born in 1983, but like I grew up watching Dragon Ball from like probably like 1986 or 7. And I like in Dragon Ball games going back and playing through the entire story over again. Now, if it's something like Kakarot, it can be a drag if it's so like cinematic and there's so much to it. But when it goes to something like a little bit of a story here and there, like for chapter based, like think of like Tenkaichi, for example, I think that's doable. And I'd like to see all of it go through from Dragon Ball all the way up past GT and into Super. I would like to see that. The reason why we can't get a Tenkaichi 3 is because that was made by Spike, and Spike is no longer a company. They fused with Chunsoft to make Spike Chunsoft, therefore losing the license to create Dragon Ball games. And the last Dragon Ball game that they made is an arcade-only game in Japan. I forget what it's called, but it's still constantly being updated. But they don't have the rights to make the games. I think only Dimps still holds some rights. Let's see. I just want Huang as a guest. Huang as a guest in what? In Sam's show? Atherin says, I'll take a new Xenoverse game. Yeah, but Xenoverse 2 is pretty good. Like, I mean, like, I don't know if I really want a Xenoverse 3 until we get like a lot of more story and characters from Super, because pretty much right now we have everybody in there and they're still updating the game. Daniel Ramsey says Budokai 3 was awesome. Senkai Battle Royale. Yes, thank you, Raging Ningen. That's the name of the game. Budokai 3 was awesome when I played it, but then as soon as Infinite World came out, I hardly ever play Budokai 3 anymore because Budokai 3 is like nowhere near as good of a game as Infinite World. And after playing Infinite World, I hate Dragon Rush. I can't stand Dragon Rush. It's almost like Reversal Edge to me. It's such like a broken rock, paper, scissors mechanic. I can't stand those kind of things when they're implemented in video games. I mean, teach their own, but I prefer Infinite World, which is basically Budokai 4. Fun fact is they were actually going to call it Budokai 4, but it was releasing, I think, 6 months apart from Burst Limit when the PlayStation 3 was coming out. And the producers didn't want to call it Budokai 4 because they know that that's got such a built-in fan base. And Burst Limit was supposed to be the new iteration of, hey, Miss Pirate, how you doing? It was supposed to be the new iteration of the Budokai series because it's the same developers. They didn't want Budokai 4 to compete with Burst Limit, so they changed the name of Budokai 4 because it was only on PS2, not PS3, and they were focusing on the PS3 at that time to Infinite World for some reason. But even if you look at the back of the box and stuff, it still says the best of the Budokai series. It literally is like Budokai like 3.5. It adds a lot to it, and it got rid of Dragon Rush, which is my favorite aspect of the game. Ultimate Tenkaichi had some great customization, unlike Xenoverse 2. Yeah, but I've played Ultimate Tenkaichi like 3 times, and it's very bare bones. Like, I mean, even to get the haircut that I wanted, I know you have to beat Omega Shenron like 3 times, which is like near impossible because of the fighting system in that game. It's just hard to trudge through because it's all rock, paper, scissors. Crimson Knight 20 says, "Hey Yoon, what's up? Hey, I've had time to digest the fact that season 6 won't 3 Tress won't happen. Yeah, I have a couple videos this week that are already scheduled that have got my major opinions on it. I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. Not one-on-one, obviously. Might be wrong, but Dimps is from the EX team that made like Street Fighter and King of Fighters games. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the development list. I don't want to say anything without knowing personally. I just know Dimps as a company is the ones that held the last rights to it. Miss Pyre says, so no season 3. That's what everything is pointing towards. I mean, Okubo's not working on the game. There's a couple members from Project Soul that aren't working on the game. There's no updates. Their last chance of getting a trailer for season 3 would have been at EVO, which is going on right now, Soulcalibur. But it's only a side tournament, so they're not going to announce anything on a side tournament, only during the main event. Yeah. Raging Blast was good, but it was pretty much just Tenkaichi. I actually like Raging Blast 1 better than Raging Blast 2 because I don't like the visuals on Raging Blast 2, and they took away the story mode and like they put in some galaxy mode, which doesn't make sense. It's just like if you choose this character and you fight this character, some kind of inner story might happen. But the Raging Blast 1 was a lot better, except for like the star system. The star system kind of annoyed me. Mike said, I was just talking about gameplay in Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi game. I just love that gameplay. Tenkaichi, yes. Ultimate Tenkaichi, no. That's the only thing I was saying. Tenkaichi's good. That's what fed into Raging Blast, and a lot of that bled into Xenoverse as well. But Ultimate Tenkaichi was literally just like clashing and then doing rock, paper, scissors. Ranging Ningen says, Granola, Moro, Garlic, Junior, Hachiak, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know they have a lot of characters, but they're not gonna. There's not enough for a baseline story, and let's let them focus on the story for Xenoverse 3 because I'd rather them actually make a good story. Just like how everyone still likes the Storm series. Yeah, I mean, I still play all the Storm games. I actually play before the Storm games. I play the Ultimate Ninja games. Those are good too. It's the same developers. Ultimate Ninja was the series that came before Storm that led into Storm. Stuff like the new Turtles from Heroes and Canals Universe come over in the future. Yeah, I know that stuff's definitely going to come, but I mean, like, I don't think it should come right now. They're still developing stuff for Xenoverse 2, so I don't think Xenoverse 3 is going to come out anytime soon. Maybe in like 2 years. And that's honestly if they make a Xenoverse 3. I mean, it is the best-selling Dragon Ball game of all time, so that has that going for it. But also, if they don't have enough content to add to it, I'd rather... See, the reason I don't like Tenkaichi 3 as much as I like Tenkaichi 2 is Tenkaichi 3 only added like 5 or 6 characters to the roster. and like the story mode is way worse. If they focused more on Tenkaichi 3 or made it DLC for Tenkaichi 2, I'd be a lot more happy with it than I just prefer Tenkaichi 2. What's up, Devontae? How you doing, buddy? Budokai Tenkaichi 2 is not my favorite Budokai game. Infinite World is my favorite Budokai game, but I love Budokai Tenkaichi 2 because of all the different transformation mechanics in it. That's the one where they have like so many different forms of like they have like Celza and like Majin Buu absorbing like pretty much everybody. There's a lot of characters in that. I'm doing fine, buddy. Also in Budokai 2 Tenkaichi, I really didn't like the story mode with like the puzzle system, how they had it. I think that would have been a cool side mode, but for the main mode, I would like to see something a little bit more cinematic. But yeah. And the HD collection for the Budokai series is horrible because they changed the music. And it's only Budokai 1 and Budokai 3, I believe. But I have them all physically on PS2 anyway, so I didn't even bother with the HD version. Broken Bond is probably my favorite Naruto game of all time, Mike. It just sucks that that was exclusive to Xbox 360. I mean, I still have it. I still play it all the time. Yes, I did see Super Saiyan Rose 3. Wake me up when we see a Super Saiyan Rose 4. Like I want to see Super Saiyan 4 more. You guys know Super Saiyan 4 is like my favorite. If you can like look back there, where they at? Like I love Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 is probably my favorite iteration of the Saiyan character transformation. I feel like now we got to change the name of the stream since we've been talking so much about Dragon Ball instead of like Soulcalibur Season 3. It's like we went through all of that in the first like 10 minutes of the video, and now it's been nothing but Dragon Ball talk. Do I main Gogeta in Fighters now? Super Saiyan 4? Oh, yeah, he's always on my team. My main team on Fighters is GT Kid Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Super Baby. That's my main squad. The hell is Super Saiyan Rose? It just came out like in the Heroes manga, I believe. Like this past week, it was announced. There was like a masked guy, and nobody knew who it was. Oh, and Super Saiyan Rose is Goku Black. That's his transformation. That's what we're talking about. I don't know if you've seen Dragon Ball Super, Devontae. Miss Pirate says, "Rest in peace, Soulcalibur." No, it'll be back. We can keep it alive. The fans can keep it alive. Don't worry. Hakan says, well, I'm mostly on Yakuza after I was done with Soulcalibur 6. Me too. I'm still going through Yakuza 7. I'm still trying to play it. Plus, I'm also playing Judgment. I'm also playing Marvel's Avengers. What else am I playing a lot of right now? That's pretty much it for now. Hey, Mark, give Android 16 a hug. Why? So you can blow me up? Budokai 2 is my favorite with the fan-made fusions. Then did you play Dragon Ball Fusions on the 3DS? Because that game is awesome. Dante Toshido 64 says Super Saiyan 4 Road would be insane but awesome. Yeah, dude, I would love that. No, Devontae, you read that correctly. There is a Super Saiyan 3 Rose now. That's why I was bringing up that we should see Super Saiyan 4 Rose. Daniel Ramsey says, let's hope it doesn't end up like Darkstalkers. Poor Darkstalkers, man. That game never gets any love. Do I play Strive? No. I'm honestly, the only Guilty Gear game I have is Zard. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. The XRD. I don't even have Revelator. I need to get them, but I mean, like, the problem with that is like I like story modes a lot because I go back and I replay story modes a lot by myself. And Guilty Gear doesn't really have a story mode. It's just got like a 4-hour-long or 5-hour-long movie that you watch. So I kind of wish it was interactive at all. But I love the gameplay, and I think it's really fluid. But I do have like I do have Guilty Gear 3rd or Zard or whatever. I still need to get Revelator. Oh, a mod for it? Yeah, it wouldn't help me at all though because I don't play on PC. Yeah, I think I have Sign. Yeah. The first one, right? I don't know, dude. Devontae, it's in the Dragon Ball Heroes manga. A lot of stuff happens in that. Hakan says, and all Capcom does is, by the way, there's 18 you guys in the stream. Like the chat, please. It'll help support the chat and move it on. I see that 6 people who liked it. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can bump that likes up a little bit. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's not just Capcom that focuses on esports. I mean, a lot of them do, but to be fair, esports, I don't watch esports personally, but esports really does push out games like it really promotes them well. Like it gets a lot more people into older games, especially. If you want Revelator, get Rev 2 because of Answer and Baiken. Yeah, I played it at Rich's house, at Ragaroff's house, so I probably would get Rev 2. I might even get Strive, but I want to wait. I'm gonna wait to get Strive until the DLC comes out for it. Because whenever I get like a Guilty Gear game, there's always a ton of DLC, and I never end up getting it. Devontae says, "Oh, the non-canon one. We don't mention canon around here." I'm a GT fan, so canon can kiss my ass. I don't care about canon. I just care if it's cool or not. And Dragon Ball canon does not exist. Like, come on. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Dragon Ball, if you're going to talk about canon and Dragon Ball, it's got to be the original manga that Akira Toriyama made, and that's it. Like, because the movies have a different canon. The anime has a different canon. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. Like, I don't even care if you say Dragon Ball Multiverse fan manga is canon at this point because it's written better. Just like, literally, I don't care about canon in Dragon Ball at all. You mean like Happy and Jacko and the Man and Jam? Yeah, definitely. We need to do Darkstalkers and Rival Schools. Capcom needs to. Well, maybe Rival Schools will be coming up soon since Akira is a guest character. And what's Akira freaking guest character in? I can't believe I'm forgetting. But that might be some straight up promotion. Toriyama's pretty crazy. You mean Yo Toriyama or Akira Toriyama? Tosh says Dragon Ball at this point is like Kingdom Hearts. Like, what on earth is a storyline? Ooh, just to let you know right now, for any of you Kingdom Hearts fans out there, Walmart and GameStop actually have the story so far plus Kingdom Hearts 3 all in one package together, and it's on sale for $20. It's like all of the games. So it's got like Birth by Sleep and all that stuff. It's all in one package for PS4. Well, I have it on PS4. I don't know if it's on Xbox One. I see. I didn't know Dragon Ball was all over the place. Yeah, dude, there's no set canon for that. The only canon from that is the original manga that's like from the original Dragon Ball like saga up until Kid Buu. That's like the only thing you can claim as actual, because Akira Toriyama's worked on a bunch of different stuff. He even worked on GT. He works on Super, but it's not like there's so many plot holes you can't even call it canon, dude. Yeah, Miss Pirate, go get it now while it's on sale. It's normal price. I think it's $50, but it's on sale right now, brand new for $20 at GameStop and Walmart. I picked mine up at Walmart, I think. I don't know how long the sale is going to last. That's why I said go grab it now. Akira is coming to Street Fighter 5. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. So that's why I was saying like there might be some hopes of like a Rival Schools in the short future, the near future. Following the story is too much for me. Yeah, I've just been following it since like forever. It's like somebody starting to watch One Piece. Like, good luck, dude. I've watched One Piece. I've tried to start watching it over again like 4 times. Regardless if GT is non-canon, I still watch it one day. GT is awesome. Just take your head out of it. A lot of people like, I started watching it in 1997, I believe, or might have been 1996. I watched it and there was no subs for it. I had to watch it fan subbed. I don't buy from Walmart, but GameStop I can. Yeah, just call ahead and make sure that they have it there, because GameStop's really limited with stock sometimes. Even if you don't shop from Walmart, by the way, you can go to walmart.com and order it to your house and it'll still be $20 and they'll just get it delivered. Hey, what's up, Rocky? How you doing? I think we're going to go for about maybe 20 minutes, guys. By the way, just to let you guys know, super chats are turned on and so are the stickers. So if you would like to support the channel and show support for the stream, I would love a super chat or a sticker. Just putting that out there. Let's see. I don't buy from Walmart at all, period. I mean, sometimes you can't compete with their video game prices because even like their Switch stuff, they put like $10 below the market value, the retail value. So I go there to get that stuff. Plus, like I think the closest Walmart to me has like a supermarket inside. It's one of the super Walmarts, and they have really cheap gas and groceries. So, One Piece. How can I continue? How can be a continue the series without end? When will they find the treasure? I believe I heard a thing that they said that like the story's only like 70% done right now. So we got a ways to go. Michael says, I don't like how he made Goku's origins. You mean in original Dragon Ball? Well, originally it was just supposed to be an adaptation of the legendary kingdoms, the 3 kingdoms, which is like the Legend of the Monkey King. And it even had all that stuff. Switch OLED thoughts. Pointless to me because I already have a Switch. I'm not going to upgrade for that little upgrade. It's only 0.8 inches bigger. And it's got a better kickstand. And like the battery's like bigger. I mean, I play my Switch on my TV most of the time anyway, so it's not worth it for me. Miss Pyre, you got to be a little bit more specific with that question. What's my favorite game? If you're going to say favorite game of all time, probably Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS. Is probably my favorite game of all time. But I have a lot of other games depending on genre. It sucks that there be no Soulcalibur 6 Season 3. Yeah, it does suck, Rocky. But I mean, we can't really do anything about it, right? We just gotta keep hoping. Mike Garcia says, GT is kick-ass. We need Super Saiyan 4 back in Super. I would love that. Super Saiyan 4 is my favorite form. But in Akira Toriyama style of Super Saiyan 4. Akira Toriyama, funnily enough, actually did illustrate Super Saiyan 4 at one point. He's not the one who created it. I think the person who created Super Saiyan 4 was one of the movie animators. But he actually came out and said that he liked Super Saiyan 4. I actually think it's the only one that makes sense for a Saiyan. Plus, the origins of like Super Saiyan are so hilarious to me. It's just like Akira Toriyama didn't want his assistant to keep on having to fill in the black of Goku's hair, so he just made it gold. Like that's literally why they came up with Super Saiyan. King of Fighters 11 is my favorite game of all time. I think the last one I played is 12 that I have on PS3, I believe. I haven't played Fire Emblem after the one from the Wii. Well, Fire Emblem Awakening is my favorite Fire Emblem game. I've played them all, even the new ones on Switch. But Awakening is still can't be topped for me. That's my favorite one. Twist, we get Super Saiyan 4, but with Turles. I ain't mad at that. I like Turles. There's nothing wrong with Turles. No, I mean for the Super Broly movie. Well, that wouldn't be Toriyama's style. It would be Shintami's style if it's going to be the next movie. Because I think like Shintami's been the one who's been like running the art direction and character designs. Which I'm still not sure how I like Shintani's more or not. I kind of like the clean cut. It's a little rough for me, but it does look beautiful in motion. So, oh, how he did Goku's origins in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place, dude. There's like Dragon Ball Minus that does that, which is official. There's like the Dragon Ball Bardock special, which was on like Dragon Ball Connect as a movie. That's not canon, but it's official. There's so many different origins. Turles is my favorite character in Dragon Ball. As you see, why I ask for him in fighters all the time. Yeah, dude, Turles is awesome. I love Turles. Especially a mechanic with the fruit from the tree of might will be great. In my mind, Mi, Huang, and Yun Song. I still need to play the old Fire Emblems. I'm into the old games. For me, it has charm. Yeah. The thing I like most, Miss Pyre, about Awakening is like there's like a marriage system, so you can actually like get married to like any of the girls in the game, and then like you have a kid, which is like a hybrid of like your two characters, and that kid's like OP powerful. But the way that you get like married and stuff, like with the romance between the characters, is like really done really well. And the story's awesome. There's like a huge twist at the end. Awakening is just great. I mean, Fates is okay. Like it's not as good to me as Awakening, but it's good. And the Three Houses, which is the most recent one, there's just like so much to do there, and it's a little daunting. Turles would be broken though. We could just have him power up like Gogeta does. You can't keep having him eat fruit from the tree of might and then one shot people. Rocky Fort said, vanquish the evils of the ages. Me and Yoon song was it to tell evil spirits to stay down, and Huang would be proud. And me and Huang would be hanging out. Plot twist, I'm the main villain. Hey, I mean, you're not really far off there. I'm not really going to spoil anything. It's not quite that, but like you're pretty close. Demon Slayer says, I just came in and all I heard was Fire Emblem Awakening praise. I love to hear it. Yeah, dude, it's my favorite game of all time. And I love your name because that's currently my favorite anime that I'm into right now. Can't wait for the game, actually. A little disappointed there's been like no demons announced for that game, but well, I mean there's going to be a few, but I want to see some major playable demons. But you know, like Storm, it's like the Storm series. Like CC2 likes to make those games into long running series, so maybe we'll see something down the road for that. We got 15 people in the chat and 12 likes. Let's see if we can get that to match. Let's see if we can do 15 and 15. I would appreciate it. In Soulcalibur 3, 4, 5, and 6, whenever I create myself, I can use Bojutsu. I create myself in all those games too. I miss Yoon Song's personality, not gonna lie. Well, he was slated for season 3, so possibly he'll be in the main roster for Soulcalibur 7. Don't fret. I mean, I think there's more of a possibility because the way they changed Hwang Sung-gyung so much and so drastically could leave the room open for Hong Yoon Song to actually go back and take his old spot as like the premier like Tech Yan fighter. Miss Power says, I love Demon Slayer. Me too. Me too. When I first saw Goku Black, I thought it was Dr. Wheelo. I can see that. I love Dr. Wheeler's like weird laugh that he had in the movie. Do you remember? His laugh was like, so strange. In 7, they need Hwang on the cover for it to sell. Well, originally Hwang was like sharing the limelight of like half the main character in Soul Edge. Him and Mitsurugi were both the main characters. Whitey says it's not coming. Should we wait for After Evil? And then in my mind, that decided once and for all. Yeah, no, it's not coming. It's not going to come. Like, we're just waiting for Soulcalibur 17. Jeez. Soulcalibur 7 at this point. Like, season 3 is done. Rocky Ford. Yoon Song and Hwang were cool. Yeah, they're both cool. I love them. Demon Slayer says, I was thinking about rebuying Soulcalibur 4, even though I just finished Soulcalibur 5. Should I do it? And I already own 6. Yeah, 4 is fun because it's so different, like especially with like the Star Wars characters, and it's got Tower of Souls, which is one of the best modes in all of the Soulcalibur games. So if you can find it for pretty cheap, I think it's definitely still worth it. I own it physically. I still have it on PS3. Though unfortunately, I think you can't buy the opposite characters DLC because I think the licensing is done, so they're not on the marketplace anymore. So like if you buy the PS3 version, it has Darth Vader, but you can't buy Yoda anymore, and vice versa on the 360. In Soulcalibur games, I create Guts from Berserk. That is an awesome character to create. I love Berserk, and I think yeah, Guts is pretty cool. Have I tried Scarlet Nexus? Yes, I own Scarlet Nexus, and I actually have a live stream of me playing the beginning of it on my channel if you want to go check those out in the live streams. Yeah, Yoon Song was pretty fun in 4. I agree. Soulcalibur 4 was my least played. I think my least played was probably... Yeah, I want to say 4 is probably the one I played the least too, just because there's not that much to do in it. Outside of Tower of Souls. That was pretty fun. I forgot what I created in Soulcalibur 6. I remember Marluxa and my character. Yeah, I made like 70-something people, so... Yoda was a pain in the neck to fight against the Soulcalibur 4. Yeah, because he was so low, and all he would do is flip. Demon Slayer says, damn, thanks, though. I would have used Vader anyway, since I love Anakin. Yeah. I mean, I have the PS3 version. I don't have Yoda on that, because when I first had the game, I had it on 360, and I bought Darth Vader. But now I don't have that version anymore, because I went through like 4 Xbox 360s before I bought the one that I have now. And I sold a bunch of stuff. But I do have the PS3 version now, but I just don't have Yoda because obviously the DLC is not there. Cool. I was thinking about picking it up. You definitely should. I could see Guts from Berserk being the next guest character. Yeah, Rocky, it'll be cool, but I mean, there's no relevance for cross promotion right now, and I don't know if they're even going to continue the Berserk series since like the mangaka that created it passed away. Scarlet Nexus made me realize I should never play a Japanese RPG ever again because I have no self-control and will keep playing them nonstop. I took a day off after 4th of July as a result. Yeah, go for it. Drink some beers and play it all day. That's why I love JRPGs, because you can put so much time and energy into them. He was more fun than he was in 2. I agree. I like his look better in 4 as well. Soulcalibur 5 was my least favorite. My least played. Like I knew how much they changed the play style next to Soulcalibur 4. I just played it a lot because they had the best character creator in the whole series, and they also had that endless card battle mode where you played against all the people's created characters, and I did that like nonstop. I mean, you even get like a trophy if you like fight Harada. But in 3, I was solo Huang main. So you had the arcade edition then, because Huang's only in the arcade edition. Other than that, you have to create him using he's like a bonus character, but he's only in the base roster in the arcade edition. Miss Pirate says, it's actually pretty entertaining watching my OCs fight each other than AI mode. I do that all the time. That's why if you see a lot of my gameplay in my videos, a lot of it is just like my my OCs and created characters fighting each other. I could totally see Jade from Mortal Kombat being in Soulcalibur. Yeah, but not really, because look back on Soulcalibur, right? Look back on all the guests that you've ever seen in Soulcalibur. They only use main protagonists from a series. So, like, you'll never see a side character. You'll never see a villain. Oh, my dad just called me. Sorry about that. I'll have to call him back after the stream.
Call rejected.
Let me text him. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, you had the arcade edition. Yeah, that's awesome. That's like the hardest one to get, dude. Like, I envy you for that. Unless like you like emulate it on PC. Arcade edition was like so short sold. Wait, isn't the current Soulcalibur game 6? Yes, it is. Heihachi Mishima doesn't fit in Soulcalibur 2. He doesn't, but funny story is that Heihachi actually wasn't supposed to be in that game. In Soulcalibur 2, it was originally supposed to be Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, but talks fell through last minute, and they had to put somebody in the game like last minute. So since they already own the rights to Heihachi, since Tekken and Soulcalibur under the same umbrella of Bandai Namco, they just put Heihachi in instead. He was a last-minute decision. My choice JRPG is the Tales series. Been playing since Symphonia, as many have. Yeah, I played Tales of Symphonia. I played a lot of those. I actually really like the Tales series as well. I think my favorite JRPG of all time, though, is Arc the Lad Twilight of the Spirits for PlayStation 2. That probably also tied with Legends of Dragoon for PlayStation 1. I think those are my 2 favorite JRPGs of all time. If you're talking Final Fantasy, my favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite. 3 was my main. I managed to unlock every character and weapon except for the Ancient. Huang, Lilong, and Arthur were there. Welcome return. I definitely agree, Taj. Soulcalibur 3 is my favorite Soulcalibur of all time. Like, to me, it can't be topped. I love Soulcalibur 3. Chronicles of the Sword is awesome. The character creator is fun. It looks like super anime. I just love 3. I wish more people got a chance to play it, though, since Sony produced it, though. I literally bought it because of Huang. Yeah, I need to try and find it. Like, I have the physical version of 3, but I have the regular one. I need to try and track down the arcade edition. Maybe an awesome subscriber will send it to my P.O. box. Who knows? I need to try and find it. And now we have Cloud and Sephiroth and Smash. Yeah, but that's not a fighting game, so it's okay. I'm just playing. 2B, again, though, she's the main character for her series. That's why they don't have, like, the other robots or whatever. Star Wars were so out of place. It definitely didn't fit Soulcalibur at all. Funny story, Hakan. The only reason that Ford was shopping around for a guest character and trying to get financing for their game, and Lucas Games, before it was owned by Disney, came out and said that we'll pay for the majority of the game, but you have to put these characters in. So they actually put in 3 characters from Star Wars to promote The Force Unleashed, which was about to release. So it was a cross-promotional thing, and it's because Lucas Gaming paid for it. Same thing with Soulcalibur 3. The reason that it's only on PlayStation is because Sony helped finance that game. I like if Chronicles of Sword came back with Soldier running and you on horseback. Yeah, dude. We can actually choose which one you were on that, too. I loved Chronicles of Sword so much. I wish Blade 3 would get some type of modern port. I do, too, but there's licensing issues with that, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of people wish it wasn't only on PS2. I mean, I still have a PS2, so I play it. I know if you play PC, you can emulate it, but yeah, I still play it on PS2, but it doesn't look as great as it used to. What's up, MKSM? How you doing, buddy? I've mentioned how Mario so many times that I didn't mention him on purpose, since I tend to go balls deep on related SNK. Yeah, definitely. Soulcalibur 3 was like Soulcalibur 1. Do you mean Soul Edge and Soul Blade, which were the first Soulcalibur games? Or do you mean actual Soulcalibur 1? Soulcalibur 1, I think, was only on Dreamcast, too. It was that's a weird port, too. PS2 is such a long-lasting console, 20 to 30 years, and mine still works. I think this is my 3rd PS2, but that's only because I sold my first one. My second one, I ended up getting modded, and then it stopped working. I had that flip-top one, so I would use Swap Magic. But my third one now, it's modded also, but I did the network adapter mod, so I put the hard drive in the back, where so it's a fat PS2, but yeah, it works fine. What's my favorite console? Mine is the PS2. And I probably have to say mine is PS2 as well. I'm not gonna argue with that. People have made a Soulcalibur 3 Arcade Edition port for emulators. Yeah, I wish I played on PC, but unfortunately, my PCs are all for working. There's not enough space for me to run gaming stuff on it. I'm not gonna buy an extra gaming thing because I already play too much on my other consoles. What Tekken did you like the most? Mine is Tekken 5 also, but not the Dark I forget what it was called. Dark Resurrection. Mine was the base Tekken 5 because Tekken 5 had the awesome arcadey mode where you can run around as all the different characters, like the Devil Within, I think it was called. That mode was awesome, but they actually took that out of Dark Resurrection. I still have Dark Resurrection on PS3, but I need to get the regular vanilla Tekken 5 back on PS2. I don't have it anymore, and I really wish I still had it. Soulcalibur, I mean physically, Raging Ningen, not digitally. I know it's on the 360 store, but I just meant the physical port. I kind of wanted Starkiller to come back as a guest character in Soulcalibur. Yeah, but there's licensing there, so they're not going to do that. And now, Disney owns Star Wars, forget about it. Noctis from Final Fantasy 15 was Man. Tekken 7, he was actually supposed to be in Soulcalibur. And Negan from AMC's Walking Dead wasn't even supposed to be in Tekken 7, but in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, both of those characters, the same thing. Noctis was actually supposed to be in Soulcalibur, and Negan was supposed to be in Mortal Kombat. You are correct. Arcade Edition emulator? Yes, there is. You can play Arcade Edition on the emulator, Devontae. Well, yeah, I just wish on a console I use more. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I 100% agree. I wish PlayStation and Sony in general was more lenient when it came towards their back catalog. I really wish they would allow you to be able to go back and play older games. Yes, Tekken is probably my favorite fighting series of all time. People would think it's Soulcalibur since my channel's revolved around it, but I actually like Tekken a lot more. When it comes to actually the gameplay mechanics, Tekken and Dead or Alive are my favorite to play. And then Soulcalibur's right underneath of there. I know, dude, Hakan. When I first got Tekken 7, I was so disappointed there was no Tekken Force mode. I was really upset about that. And the story sucks. Kwong was meant to be in Smash. If they were going to put anybody from Smash in from Soulcalibur, it'd probably be Nightmare. I love Tekken 5, but Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was my fave. I love Tekken Tag Tournament 2 as well. I'm just saying, like, for the different gameplay aspects in 5, like it had Tekken Force mode, all kinds of stuff. Tekken Tag 2 is fun. I still play Tekken Tag 2 probably the most, but I play Tekken Hybrid a little bit more because Tekken Tag 1 has Tekken Bowling, and Tekken Bowling is nowhere near as fun in Tekken 7. Hey, what's up, Terrence? How you doing? So I was Noctis in Tekken 7 instead of Soulcalibur 6. They were swapping around ideas for what characters were going to go in, and I believe that since that Sam Show reached out to Bandai Namco to promote their upcoming Samurai Showdown game, since Samurai Showdown hasn't been out for a while, and I believe they went on that. That's why they actually put the deal with Noctis for Tekken. They just swapped it over. I still want to see Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal in a Mortal Kombat game. He would be brutally dope. Well, let's see in the new reboot, but I don't know when the next Mortal Kombat game is actually going to come out. I did not really like Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I mean, come on, dude. There's so many fun characters now. You can play as Dr. Praskanovich. You can play as, like, there's a lot of characters in that game. That's the one reason I really like the game is you can pretty much play. It's like almost like Mortal Kombat Armageddon, but for Tekken. There's so many characters in it. If Soulcalibur ended up on Nintendo console, would you personally want a Zelda or a Fire Emblem character? That's a really hard decision. I'd probably go with Fire Emblem just because I think it fits more. But which Fire Emblem character too would be a hard thing for me to decide on because I love a lot of Fire Emblem characters. In my opinion, Tekken 4 has the best story. MKSM, Tekken 4 is widely renowned as like the worst Tekken game, though. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, I bought Tekken 4 day one when it came out. Steve Fox was fun in that game. The story mode was pretty good, but I mean, other than that, it was like it wasn't as big of an up jump from Tekken 3 that people were expecting. That's why I say Tekken 5 is my favorite. I enjoy Tekken 2, but I don't know if the juggling should be a thing. It's really hard to pull off, though. So that's like deep Tekken skill. Like, I mean, like, you can block against it. There's like unblockables and super armor and stuff that you can use to get around that. Tekken 4 is my fave. Yeah, a lot of people will say that, Terrence. I'm not hating on that. I love Dead or Alive 5 so much that it upsets me how much Dead or Alive 6. That's not what pissed me off the most about Dead or Alive 6. What made me the most angry, they held this for review, so I'm just gonna say it out loud for you. It just said shit. Hold on, I'm missing some of the what's up here, guys. Remember, shoot me like a 99-cent sticker or a super chat if you want me to read your comment if it's going by too fast because I'm getting lost in the chat. Let's see. Have I played Tekken Advance? Yes, I did play Tekken Advance. I owned it on my GBA for a while. Raging Ningen says Roy. Yeah, Roy is like people's go-to, but there's a lot of characters I love from Fire Emblem though, especially besides the main characters, man. True, but the balancing really ruined it for me. Yeah, from a competitive standpoint, I 100% agree with you, especially when you got characters like Jinpachi and stuff like that. Tekken 4 would be the go-to for balance, but I think it had the least content in all the Tekken games. I think Lucina would be awesome. Chrom too. Like, yeah, see, Awakening is my favorite one, so like I would love them. No, Rocky, he meant it would be an easy choice for him out of Fire Emblem characters to put as a guest character. That's what he was saying. Oh, Raven? Jeez, yeah. Tekken 4 is the best story, but the game was so unbalanced. You have a lot of TOD on the wall. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And the story in Tekken 5 had weird changes, and the story of Tekken 7 is the worst when it comes to pointless changes. Tekken 7's story is the worst out of the entire series. The narrator is so boring. Baki for Tekken. I would love Baki in Tekken. Actually, let's put Baki in Soulcalibur instead so we can have a weaponless fighter. And then we can use his style for create a character. I love Baki Hanma. How was Tekken Advance? At the time when I played it, I was really taken back by the graphics. It was really good, but it didn't hold up well. That's for sure. Kazuya's Electric Wind God Fist only launched on counter hit in Tekken 4, and that's my favorite move to use. That, and I also love his back-breaking kick. Let's see. But I usually counter them both into each other, too. I usually toggle them both in for a wall juggle. Interesting. Well, I never knew that before. Awakening is my favorite Fire Emblem game, so I wouldn't mind either of them. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I hear you, Raging Ningen. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, Tekken 5 Whitey, Tekken 5 started out with that. Remember the promotional trailers? It just goes, Heihachi Mishima is dead. That's like literally how they started the game. Tekken Revolution was so half done, but made me love Eliza's new character. Or Eliza. Yeah, I liked Tekken Revolution was okay. But I mean, those free-to-play games just really get under my skin. I did play it for a while, though. What Tekken needs now is Dio. You're going back with the old JoJo character. I know Dio is everyone's favorite JoJo character, but honestly, my favorite JoJo character is probably Jonathan, like young Jonathan, not older. Oh my god! From like Stardust Breakers. I like the season 2 Jonathan when he was fighting the Pillarman. Tekken Tag 2 I got for free. Forest Law 6-inch figure from a shop off of Amazon. It was my first Tekken Tag. I love Tekken Tag 2. Tekken Tag 2 is awesome, but just doesn't have Tekken Bowling, which is a crime. Tekken 7 also has so much recent plot holes, but Heihachi's reason for mistreating Kazuya that pisses me off so much. I kind of get that, and I kind of here's why I would argue against that, because I've always hated Heihachi. I've always hated Heihachi Mishima, always. Joseph, thank you. Yes, Joseph. But Tekken 7 actually made me like Heihachi. Like the whole thing of like he was trying to get the devil gene, and then like his lady had it and blah blah. Like I do like Heihachi's story in 7, and it made me actually like Heihachi. I've never liked him before. My favorite is Fugo though. Watch We Wish For. Time Stop would be game breaking. Yeah, but Joseph doesn't have Time Stop. Yeah. But not old Joseph from like Stardust Crusaders. I mean original Joseph from season 2, because the Pillarmen are like my favorite thing in all of like JoJo, and I haven't even seen part 5 or anything after that yet. I've only watched up to part 4. You just want Geese versus Dio. Maybe they'll put Dio in the next King of Fighters game then. Yeah, King of Fighters cross JoJo game would be fun. Young Joseph in Battle Tendency and old Joseph in Stardust Crusaders. But then again, I still have that. I play Eyes of Heaven a lot, the JoJo game, and that actually is pretty good. Tekken Bowling, Tekken Force, and Tekken Ball were in one Tekken game is an unreachable dream. Definitely. I got sneeze. Hadoken. Heihachi vs. Geese was such a stupid death battle. I stopped watching those death battles. Sometimes they ignore stuff that I think they should bring up. Tekken needs a prequel game, like what, based around Jinpachi? Thank you, Dante. Thanks, MKSM. Thank you, Rocky. Underrated fighter, in your opinion? You mean underrated fighting game or underrated person in a fighting game? Can you be more specific, please, Demon Slayer? I love Tekken 7 trailer. Yeah, the trailer's pretty good. My favorite underrated fighting game. Underrated. Let's see. Probably Bloody Roar. I love Bloody Roar, but that's pretty underrated. It doesn't get as much love as it should. We never know. Maybe the same getting funded situation from Soulcalibur 4 could occur, and then you can have all these modes in one game. It's a possibility, but I think Bandai Namco is definitely going to fund the next Soulcalibur game, Soulcalibur 7. They already came out and said that they were going to. Hakan Gemini says to knowledge, Heihachi was just power-hungry person because he wants the devil gene since Tekken 7, Tekken 3, or Tekken 4. That's why I liked him in Tekken 7, because they actually gave him a backstory. Because there's nobody that's all good or nobody that's all evil. Like, I mean, or all selfish. So, I mean, like, I liked seeing like why he got to be that way, which is why I liked it. Watch as they poured Hwarong from SVXT into SVF. That's the last character. Yeah, right. That's wishful thinking. Thoughts on Kazuya and Smash? Did you see my reaction to it with KittyMeowser Gaming? We did a E3 reaction to it. I freaked out. I was so happy because Kazuya is actually my main in Tekken. I think my mains are Kazuya, Li Chaolan, and Hwarong, obviously. There's like my 3 mains. Surprised we never got a Soulcalibur tag tournament game. Demon Slayer, you should really go back on my channel and watch my older videos, buddy. I would appreciate it because I've made videos on a tag game for Soulcalibur. Subscribe too. Yeah, young Jinpachi. I think that would be cool. I almost called him Jinpachi Uchiha. Because I guess the Achi at the end. Jinpachi Mishima, yeah. Holy cow, I misunderstood the story then. I thought Heihachi was trying to just kill off the entire Del regime for good. I can't believe he was doing it to try and get it for himself. It's not only he was trying to get it for himself, like he was so in love with Kazuya's mother that like he pretty much wanted the power to protect her, which was the thing. And then she turned out to be like evil and crazy from the devil gene. And then he ended up hating the devil gene because his wife literally died because of it. And then like he harbored hatred for Kazuya based on the fact that he inherited the devil gene from his mother. Therefore, he threw him to the wolves to fend for himself because every time he saw Kazuya, he saw his wife. Like it's actually really sad. Like that's why I love Tekken 7's like Heihachi story so much. I just don't like the narrator on all that stuff. Like he's really boring in that game. Wuchia. We're already past the stream time, guys. If somebody wants to throw me like a $5 super chat or something, we'll go a little bit longer. I would appreciate it. If not, well, we might end it pretty soon. By the way, I recorded this week's videos already today, so I've been working since like 6 a.m. on videos because Saturday and Sunday are usually my filming days. And the first episode of the Raging Ningen podcast is already filmed and edited and ready. It's just going to be up August 1st, by the way. So subscribe to that channel too. My main in Tekken is Xiaoyu, Jin since Tekken 5, Heihachi, Asuka, and Kazuya. Those are all good mains. Heihachi is somehow a better Yujiro. Yeah, right? Dude, Yujiro's story had me balling. Remember Heihachi was apparently still power hungry before that incident. That's why Kazumi literally went to the... Yeah, but I think the reason he was power hungry is to protect her. I think that's the whole thing that was behind that. Like, he didn't want to lose her. Bloody Roar is a favorite game of all time. It's a shame it never got a remaster or a remake. Yeah, dude. I mean, 4 and 5 weren't great, but I mean, like, I definitely love the Bloody Roar series. Hwarong is my main. Yeah, Hwarong is awesome. Heihachi Mishima is the bad guy. I mean, not in 7. He's not. Even before that. I mean, he definitely, I'm not saying he's not an ass. Like, he definitely is. But I mean, like, there's reasons he had for doing what he did. And, like, I kind of sympathize with him somewhat. Because, I mean, I'm telling you right now, like, if my wife, like, had something that, like, killed her, and then, like, and then I had a kid that, like, emulated that too, I'd probably be, like, it's kind of hard to separate those two things. Like, when you marry somebody, dude, and when you're really into somebody like that, like, that's it for you for life. You're like, that's the most important person in the world to you. Explain Jinpachi, though. Jinpachi's a dick. I think half the reason why Heihachi is the way he is because of Jinpachi, to be honest. Because of his expectations and all that. You mean explain his devil gene? That is a what we call a plot hole. But I think he actually got it from... He did throw Kazuya off a cliff when Kazuya was a kid. Yes, but that's referring back to, like, lion cubs. If you notice, like, their whole motif of the Mishima Zaibatsu is tigers, right? Tigers and lions are known in Africa to throw their children off of cliffs to raise themselves. And if they're strong enough to climb back up on their own, then they'll raise them. It's just pretty much like their way of being like, we want the best of the best in our clan. So it's just like an alliteration towards that. It's messed up by human standards, obviously. But I mean, it's not meant to be realistic when you got like a dude who can turn into like a literal like purple demon monster and shoot like laser beams out of his eyes, you know? How good was the Tekken movie? I watched it, but okay, the Tekken animated movies is pretty good, but the Tekken live action movie, I watched it, but I don't even remember it. That's how it's probably not that great because I don't remember anything about it. Those are fighting games I like to see return. Raging Ningen said, nope, I meant imprisoning Jinpachi. I'd have to go back and redo the story because I don't really remember a lot about Jinpachi. Jinpachi was apparently a pacifist who wanted a calmer life, but Heihachi did not agree. Like I said, I'd have to go back and I'd have to see because I don't remember a lot about Jinpachi except for the fact that he's got a mouth on his tummy. We're going to end the stream in 5 minutes, guys, unless we get a couple super chats. Just because I got some stuff to do, but I can hold it off if we get a couple super chats or stickers. We are at 18 people in here, and we're at 15 likes. Thank you so much. Can we try and see if we can get those likes up to 18 to match the people that are in it? That would be amazing. I'd be in debt. I got to research more about Jinpachi. I'm going to go back and I'm going to try and find out a bunch about Jinpachi because I can't really say too much because I forget. That was after he was possessed by a demon. Yeah, see, Jinpachi, I'm really thank you. We got 18-18. We matched it. Thanks, guys. If I only had money, it's not necessary. It's not a super necessary. Oh, by the way, if you want a cheap way to support the channel, you can actually join the channel by clicking the join button. And I have a 99-cent tier. So that's only 99 cents a month. And then you get a bunch of bonuses with that too. There's no pressure. You don't have to, but I'm just saying if you want to support the channel and you have the ability to, there's that option as well. Tekken Blood Vengeance was kind of bad. The good thing about it was when Cosmo and Heihachi and each other and beat each other up. Yeah, I got that with that Blu-ray came with the Tekken Hybrid game, so I have it because of that. Who is my favorite Bloody Roar character? Mine is Bakuro. The bunny girl. I forget what her name is though. I like her a lot though. It's kind of messed up how Heihachi tied up Jinpachi and just left him under the temple. Wasn't that after he was possessed by the devil gene, though? Raging Again said, I literally don't have a cent. Well, you don't have to pay me anything. I don't require. All I require is you guys watching and liking stuff. You don't need to pay me any money if you don't have any money. That's only those options are only there for people that have the means to and want to. I in no way demand anything of you guys, and I just appreciate you being here in the first place. Because I wouldn't be here if you weren't here. Don't worry, I'm not one of those Twitch streamers that's gonna yell at you for not donating or whatever. I can go 20 streams without getting even one tip, and I'm still happy to do it. Nah, before that's how he came back as a devil. Yeah, I need to do a bunch of research on Jinpachi. That's probably what I'm gonna do tonight. He died while he was tied up. Yeah, well, that's kind of messed up. That he did that to his own papa. See you, Mark. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Michael Garcia. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Jinpachi never got possessed by the devil gene. It was just some random demon. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta get caught up with that. Laugh out loud. Random demon, old Tekken Lord 20. Yeah, it's great. Guys, we're going to wrap it up pretty soon, so let's get some last questions and comments in before I go. There is a video scheduled for Monday, by the way, and I have one scheduled for Wednesday as well. I'm trying to see if I have time to make one for Friday, but I got a lot of comic book stuff I got to do this week. You must mean Alice and Bloody Roar. Yes, I mean Alice. We can go a little bit more if someone donates. I'm looking at you, MKSM. Everybody spam the chat. Beg MKSM to drop $5. Fun fact: Tekken 1 was apparently Kazuya collecting sneakers. Really? He never wears shoes. Well, I guess now when he's owns the Mishima Zaibatsu, he does wear sneakers. But oh, MKSM, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Will we hear more Dragon Ball discussions? Yeah, I'll do Dragon Ball discussions whenever you want. Trust me. Dragon Ball is my favorite thing of all time, so it's a huge part of my my growing up and a huge part of my personality. Kazuya Trip is canon then. You're cool, Terrence. Most wanted guest character, literally whoever you want from wherever they come from. In Soulcalibur, That's a hard question just to drop on me like that. Let me think. I would want somebody that I would use their style for. Ryu Hayabusa is good, but he's likely. So I'm just trying to say somebody from Lubu's also likely from Dinosaurs. I'm trying to say somebody who's out there who wouldn't be normally would never be considered. Wolverine. Let's get freaking Wolverine in Soulcalibur. Kazu with the black Air Force Ones. Bayonetta is a good one. Is there a chance either Turles or Cooler might be in the next movie due to some promotion? There's a chance. That's cool. Yeah, I did see that promotion. I would rather it be Turles over Cooler. I do like Cooler, but I think Turles is a more in-depth character with more behind him. Chrysalid. I don't know who that is. Marvel and Soulcalibur. Good lord. Dude, Wolverine's just OP. Get Wolverine or Venom or Carnage. They'll just wipe the floor with anybody. If Lachia is going to be in it, then Viola better be in it too. Well, Viola is definitely going to be in Soulcalibur 7, but I don't think Lachia is going to come back. Momiji. Yeah, Momiji is my girl. She's like my favorite character from like the Ryu Hayabusa Ninja Gaiden series. I gotta keep on approving all these messages because you guys keep on trying to talk about like characters dying and stuff. Cosmos was already in Soulcalibur. Cosmos and Telos were both in Soulcalibur 3. Do I like Granola? I have to see more about Granola before I decide whether I like him or not. So far, he just seems stupid. Like, he's just a dummy. Like, Vegeta keeps on being like, I don't work for Frieza. He's like, I don't work for Frieza. Why are we fighting? And he's like, I don't believe you. It's like, shut up, Granola. I wish to be powerful. Okay, good. That's nice. Yeah, Metacune, X Beats. That's what I said. I said Cosmos and Telos were both in Soulcalibur 3. You just create them, and then like you give them their whole costume from you unlock them. Soulcalibur 7 will take place during the timeline of Soulcalibur 2, 3. Not during the timeline. It is during the same time at which that time took place in the old timeline. It's confusing. But it's not like erasing it. It's not going to repeat the same events. It's just going to take place during that time stream, like during like the 1560 something to 17 whatever. I want Shanghua's Soulcalibur 3 costume to be in Soulcalibur 3. Blaze Blue in a nutshell. Yeah, right. Cosmos, how I miss her so much. Yeah. He met Prime and Cosmos with her in fighting style. Yeah, that'd be cool. But like Meta said, I would probably rather have Cosmos in Blaze Blue just because she's a lot like New and New 13. I think she would fit a lot better in that kind of game than in Soulcalibur. Yeah, we're Guilty Gear with I Know Story, exactly. I want to imagine that. All right, chat and everybody else. I want to thank you guys for being with me today, and thank you for watching the stream and liking the stream. I really appreciate it. If you want to continue this conversation, please join the Discord. We all talk about this stuff all day over there. It's not just Soulcalibur. We talk about everything on the Discord. That being said, we're gonna bring this video to a close. As I always say, guys, I love it. Thank you, and you know how to sound it off. And thick you. Subscribe.